Hi, I'm going to share some content that was recommended that I do this from my book called Expecting the Good, Inspiration from a Badass with a Big Heart. It was written by me and is dedicated to my stepfather, Jean-Luc, who died unexpectedly, and he had a really good impact on our family. I like to think of the definition of good. He always focused on that. It's having the qualities to be desired or approved of, helps define moral behavior, cultural values, and what kind of beliefs that we teach our children. Today, I'm going to read the introduction section. You know, it's probably not a good thing when the phone rings at 1:30 a.m. It was a Saturday night, technically a Sunday morning, when I received one of those calls while in bed. After waking up from the abrupt phone call, my initial panicked thoughts were that one of my sons was in a car accident or had been arrested. But the Florida phone number had showed up. It was displayed. And so my thoughts turned to, oh my God, something must have happened to my mom and Jean-Luc is calling. So my heart started pounding immediately. I was panicking. But it was the opposite when I picked up. My mom was the person on the other line. She was calling from the hospital with unexpected news. Our stepfather, Jean-Luc, had just died from a massive heart attack. That's what the diagnosis was. It happened while he was working out earlier that evening at home in his basement gym. My mom was obviously in shock, yet she calmly called me and she asked me to call my brother and sister to tell them the news. So I called them immediately, and I tried to remain as calm as our mother. How can this happen to a healthy and vibrant person? That's what I was thinking. In reality, we all are going to die. But our expectation was that it would have been our mom first. She thought so as well. Jean-Luc was 64 years old and was younger than our mother. Less than a week later, after this, we were all gathered at their church for the funeral services. This was surreal, very surreal moment, surreal day. My Uncle Claude and my cousin Matthew flew in from France. The church was filled with many people that came to pay their last respects to Jean-Luc. Family, friends, neighbors, and church members. About 15 of his West Point classmates attended, and there was a Special Forces ceremony afterwards by the NAS, which is the Naval Air Station cemetery. His West Point buddies held a Benny's wake for him later that evening at the hotel that they were all staying at. The West Pointers told my family that a Benny's wake is a time to recall a personal story and to publicly share with others. The majority of the stories were very funny. He believed in a lot of humor. We learned so much about him through the eyes of his fellow cadets from West Point. Everyone needed this laughter, and there are stories reminding us all why Jean-Luc made everybody smile. He always did. He embraced the chaos of the moment, and he learned to bring out the best in others. We tend to assume that we have total control of our lives, and there is order to every day. We stick to our routines and to our habits, yet at any moment, it can be disrupted. Just when we thought everything that we had planned out. Every person has at least one story to demonstrate that life doesn't always go as intended. And this is why I wrote this book. We eventually develop an appreciation for life by seeing and experiencing its frailty. Death is part of life. Death is also a reminder not to take things in your life for granted and live while you can. Jean-Luc was one of my main influencers at a very critical point in my life. He gave me a chance and the actual opportunity to succeed. If it wasn't for his generosity, who really knows where I'd be at today? I'm about to cry. Jean-Luc witnessed a lot of global suffering by civilians through his work with the military and time as an international consultant. Because of his own experiences, he focused a lot on his grandchildren to make sure the next generation was prepared to handle what comes their way in life. Things that are unsaid stay with us forever. Then one day we're gone. We have all these things to say. And this is why I decided to write about my stepfather. I hope you like the introduction, and I'll share other recordings of the different chapters.